Hi friends, we are discussing semiconductors. Under that, we shall try to understand the construction working principle of something what is known as photodiode. In the earlier session, we have seen LED, that is a light emitting diode. Now we shall try to focus on understanding construction and working of a photodiode. Now, photodiode is a two-terminal electronic device which is when exposed to light, the current starts flowing in the diode. It is generally operated in reverse biased mode only. Its purpose is it converts light energy into electrical energy. When the ordinary diode is reverse biased, the reverse current starts increasing with the reverse voltage. The same thing can be applied to photodiode also. But in this case, the only difference is the current can flow without even the application of reverse voltage. The PN junction of the photodiode is illuminated by light, and light energy dislodges the valence electrons and diode starts conducting. So that is the basic idea of photodiode. Let us see the construction part of it. The two terminals are anode and cathode. This is the area where the incident light rays are going to be falling. This layer is silicon dioxide coated, and of course another layer we will coat with anti-reflective material. This is the junction P, this is junction A. This is the intrinsic layer. So it is made up of two layers of P-type and N-type semiconductors. In this, P-type material is formed from diffusion of lightly doped P-type substrate. Thus, the layer of P positive ions is formed due to the diffusion process. And the N-type epitaxial layer is grown on N-type substrate. The P positive diffusion layer is developed on N-type heavily doped epitaxial layer. The contacts are made up of metals. The reason for that is when the contacts are made up of metals, they used to form two-terminal cathode and anode. The front area of the diode is divided into two types. They are called active surface and non-active surface. Then this is non-active surface. The non-active surface is made up of silicon dioxide, and the active surface is coated with anti-reflection material. Why it is called active surface? It is called so because the light rays are incident on it. While the non-active surface, the light rays do not strike, the active layer is coated with anti-reflection material so that the light energy is not lost and the maximum of it can be converted into current. The entire unit has a dimensions in the order of 2.5 millimeters. It's very small for appearance. This is how the construction looks like. Let us understand the working of the same. When the conventional diode is reverse biased, the depletion region starts expanding and the current starts flowing due to minority charge carriers. With the increase of reverse voltage, the reverse current also starts increasing. The same condition, of course, can be obtained in photodiode without applying the reverse voltage. The junction of the photodiode is illuminated by light source. Then the photons strike the junction on the surface. The photons impart their energy in the form of light to the junction, due to which the electrons from the valence band get the energy to jump into the conduction band and contribute to the current. In this way, the photodiode converts light energy into electrical energy. Let us focus on biasing of the current, forward and reverse bias. Now, current that flows in the photodiode before light rays are incident on it. Any current that flows in the photodiode before actually the light falls on it is what is known as dark current. Just like as leakage current flows in normal conventional diode, similarly dark current also flows in the photodiode device also. That is very, very important. Based on that phenomena, there are two different types of modes of operation for a photodiode. It is basically divided into two types. One is called photoconductive diode and another is photovoltaic diode. Let us see both of them. These are the two operational modes, photoconductive diode and photovoltaic mode. In photoconductive mode of operation, photodiode operates in reverse bias mode. So current flowing in diode varies linearly with intensity of the light. So in order to turn off the diode, it should be provided with forward voltage. Whereas here in photovoltaic mode, photodiode operates even without reverse bias. When reverse bias is removed, the charge carriers are swept across the junction. So the barrier potential is negative and N side and barrier potential will be negative on N side and positive on P side. So that is what we have to understand. When external circuit is connected to the photodiode after the removal of the reverse biasing, the minority charge carriers in both P as well as N region rejoin. They will return back to their original region. It means that the electrons which crossed the junction from N type to P type again move to N side with the help of external circuit. That is possible. I am repeating. When an external circuit is connected to the photodiode after the removal of reverse biasing, the majority carriers in both P as well as N region return to their original region, which means that the electrons which crossed the junction from N type to P type again move back to N side with the help of external circuit, and the holes which crossed the junction and moved from P type to N type during the junction fabrication will now again move to P side with the help of external circuit. So in that way, the electrons can now flow out from N type and holes can flow out from P type. Thus, in this condition, they behave as a voltage cell having N type as the negative terminal and P type as the positive terminal. So thus the photodiode can be used as a photoconductive device as well as or a photovoltaic device also. This is what you need to understand about the construction and working principle of a photodiode. Now, having understood light emitting diode LED and photodiode, now we will try to understand the construction and working of another type of diode known as laser diode or laser based semiconductor diode. As you know, the laser, the acronym if you expand, it is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Laser diode emits radiation of a single wavelength or sometimes a narrow band of closely spaced wavelength. So it emits light due to stimulated emission of radiation. In this, when an incident photon strikes the semiconductor atom, the electrons at higher energy level recombine with the lower energy level holes. Due to this, two photons are emitted, one incidenting photon and the other is emitted due to the recombination of electrons and holes. So, of course, LEDs also work on the same principle, but the major difference between LED and laser diode is the internal architecture of both of them. A laser diode is formed from narrow channels and it acts as a waveguide for the light. But LEDs are made up of wide channels. So let us, before proceeding to the constructive part of LED laser diode, let us focus on the source of light that is coming. You can have white light source, you can have monochromatic light source. How they are different from laser light? Let us see. Look at the propagation of light in different sources. In the case of white light, that source tries to propagate light waves in like this. Whereas in the case of a monochromatic source of light, this is how the propagation of light is going to be. Whereas in laser It is very much focused. This is how sources can be understood. Right? Due to its structure, laser diode emits both coherent and monochromatic light. The light emitted by laser diode consists of a single wavelength, whereas in LEDs, they emit light consisting of a wide band of wavelengths. Thus, light emitted by LED is incoherent. That is what is to be kept in mind. This is how we represent a laser diode symbolically in any circuit. So, because it depending on the concept of emission, again light energy emission can be broadly viewed from three different angles. These three are different characteristics of laser, you know very well. Light emission by spontaneous or stimulated emission of radiation. That is the abbreviation talks about. So emission can be through absorption, through spontaneous and through stimulated. Now let us look at the schematic approach for this. If you look at the structure, this is anode and cathode. This is the laser light. This is the residual light. These are the two layers, aluminum, gallium, arsenide coating, both P side and as well as N side. This is undoped area anyway. This is the active region. This is the polished reflective surface. This area is also polished reflective surface. So it is made up of two layers of semiconductors. That is P type and N type. The layers of semiconductors are made up of gallium arsenides doped with materials like selenium, aluminium, silicon, etc. If you look at the construction and compare, construction is more or less similar to that of LED, except that the channels used in laser are narrow to produce a single beam of light. Another difference in a laser diode when compared to LED is that an intrinsic layer of gallium arsenide, undoped, is also present. This layer is what is called active layer. The active layer is enclosed by other layers of lower refractive index. So therefore this acts as something what is known as optical reflectors. These layers along with active layer form a waveguide so that light can be traveling only in a single path, in a single and fixed direction. The beam of light is produced in this section. The metal contacts are provided to facilitate biasing. So it works on the principle that every atom in its excited state can emit photons if electrons at higher energy level are provided with an external source of energy. I am repeating. This works on the principle that every atom in its excited state can emit photons if electrons at higher energy level are provided with external source of energy. Now based on this, laser diodes are divided to two broad categories like this. One is called injection laser diodes, the other is optically pumped semiconductor laser diodes. Now in this injection layer diodes, the operation is similar to that of light emitting diodes, except that LEDs are formed by wide channels of semiconductors, whereas laser diodes are formed from narrow channels. Light beam is amplified by repeated stimulated emission in this case, that is in injection laser diodes. I am repeating. Laser diodes are broadly divided into two categories, injection laser diodes and optically pumped semiconductor laser diodes. In injection laser diodes, the operation is very similar to light emitting diode, except that light emitting diodes are formed by wide channels of semiconductors, whereas laser diodes are formed from narrow channels. The light beam in this case is amplified by repeated stimulated emission. That is what we need to know about injection laser diodes. If you look at the other one, optically pumped semiconductor laser, here this particular injection laser diode acts as an external pump. Therefore, this is a part of this. in optically pumped semiconductor laser diode, injection laser diode acts as an external pump. Generally, in the periodic table materials, if you see, the third and fifth group materials act as a biasing materials. Here, in this case, injection laser amplification is by stimulated emission. Here, in optically pumped semiconducting laser diodes, amplification is achieved by stimulated emission also. So, that is the broad functioning of injection laser diode and optically pumped semiconductor laser diode. So far we have seen the construction and working of photodiode as well as laser diode.